because of that, you know, they always had really comfort picks. Is good, and Quincy Crew definitely has that.
Mind Control Tidehunter, he loves the hero.
Right, for example.
Oh, that was a joke. Remember, he did not want to play Mind.
Amazing. He's great. He's so good at it.
I mean, he's pretty darn good, but he was not enjoying it that particular TF.
I just meant that, like, they go for players they can play. So Universe also hated Darkseer, and he was great at it. Like, it's not about what you would like. It's about what you're good at.
Oh, Universe.
Yeah.
What was the memes? We only pick him green heroes, Venomancer, who's an offlaner. Might have been
purple heroes.
I know Universe. I know.
Even though he wins TI, he's the most underrated offlaner. Nobody except for every single caster, a Reddit thread, and person is talking about him.
Or anyone that has ever quoted an esports statistic for like a school speech, because at one point he was actually the highest paid esports player in the entire world. Actually,
that's true.
And yeah, so I was a big fan of Universe, dude. Really, I really got sad.
If you weren't the big fan of Universe because you weren't the fan of Dota, dude.
I got really sad when
the guy was a fun.
No, I know, but I've got like, you know, I was my first TI. Oh my god, at any team won. Yeah. So
what a youngster.
Real soft spot for that guy.
There's also Zoomers versus Boomers in the Dota world, huh?
You're not really a boomer though. I mean, I guess you are because you did play the Warcraft 3 mod. So
10 years. Started playing on that. I started playing on the same time Fear started playing.
Okay, boomer.
Just saying.
How many TIs have you won?
0.
Yeah. Okay.
There's one very clear factor here between the very difference between Fear and me is that I'm trash. Right. So that's an important.
Well, at least he recognizes it here. But Beast Coast, I think this is going to be a much better start here. Faceless Void Magnus, of course, a great degree of flexibility in the mag. I don't think it was Whisper on the mag, wasn't it? Yes. No, it was Stinger. It was Stinger.
Yeah. Whisper does play the mag sometimes, but I think it's much better on Schofield or Stinger particularly, because they like giving Whisper a more impactful hero. Last game though, they gave him Venomancer because they wanted to counter the Void. Yeah, Veno's fine on Whisper. I like Whisper on more mobile heroes, though, particularly. I think that's where he excels. The guy's really good at cutting lane, so that's why they banned Leshrac against him every single game. He was really good on the off-lane puck. That was fantastic. He likes those heroes particularly. In fact, a little pocket pick that Beast Coast never shows these days because he's trash, but he's actually a Whisper pocket pick. He's a Tinker. He plays off-lane Tinker.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. But that's so crazy. Like, they play off-lane Silencer, off-lane Tinker.
I will say, though, Quincy right now, their draft is looking pretty solid all around.
Very good draft to begin with.
Yeah, it's 3 solid opening
picks. Ridiculous.
The problem is, of course, it's not very flexible. Right?
No, but they don't like to do that.
No, of course, that's okay. But I'm just saying some teams maybe can and will take advantage of this, right? Yeah. Of course, because it's 3 pretty strong heroes. You've got a strong Dispel in there as well. You're not really opening yourself up to anything like a Bat Rider or something like that, right? That can really screw you over once you define your last or your bottom 3 in terms of the roster. But Beast Coast with the Maiden, you're surprised about this. Tell me your initial reaction to this.
Well, usually they don't pick their 5 like this. They usually flex something into the 5. They're like, oh, it's Lardar this time as a support, you know? Like the joke I always made is like, what's a flex hero to a normal team? Oh, like maybe Ember, maybe Void Spirit, and you ask Beast Coast, like, well, the Nyx Assassin, the Silencer, these are flex heroes. Like, what the
Disruptor
mid. I remember that one. Yeah.
That was when you fell out of your chair.
Yep, Troll Warlord plus Oracle. Quincy Crew's going for their bread and butter. The Troll Warlord Yawar, incredible. SVG on the Oracle.
Yeah, Troll Oracle is...
The Crystal Maiden, of course, was picked up to counter the Beastmaster, so it was a really good pickup here. But the Beastmaster should still be fine unless it's a monstrous Beastmaster. Like, these are all comfort picks for Quincy Crew.
It does well to counter the lane, right, is what you mean, because you can do very... You can
general, though.
You can clear the boars very nicely with Frost Knight, but yeah, but you can... Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, because you can always frostbite one of his creeps, and Beastmaster likes to go for the Zoo. You might have to opt for another Zoo build because of the Crystal Maiden.
That's true. You might have to, And we'll see. We have seen already in this tournament, actually, Beastmaster against a Train Protector just max instead the axes, the wild axes.
Braxax.
So we'll see here what Quincy decide. Maybe they're going to change it up here to try and mess with the CM play style. But
watch Beast Coast flex the CM to 3.
The thing is, it could be. We do have some pretty serious problems right now that Beast Coast do need to address here. Oracle Troll is not a very easy combo to outplay.
Not with Void.
Nope, not with Void. You do have a route at least to try and keep him locked down, assuming he ultis before. There we go. A better pick, but I see maybe too many supports.
I think that might be a Winter Wyvern offlane, or it could be a Magnus offlane, either or.
Yeah, either. Well, that's what I'm thinking. Almost certainly a Maiden 5.
I know it sounds like I'm trolling when I say Winter Wyvern offlane, but Beast Coast has done this.
No. And honestly, it's not that bad of a pick, to be honest, right? Because now the Wyvern, Winter Curse, you can actually do full damage to your targets in the curse. So sometimes you see like a blade, not a blade mail, not a bloodthorn. Yeah, bloodthorn, but not the orchid first, right?
Orchid, sure.
For the soul burn damage, because your Arctic curse is insane, or Arctic burn rather is insane, and Winter's curse allows you to solo kill almost everyone in the game. Of course, the exception is if you have a false promise, you're not gonna die.
What I like from Beast Coast is that one thing they wanted to mitigate from the last fight, last game, is that last game they felt without options because they lacked so much team fight. The team fight was essentially in one hero, which was the Earthshaker, and occasionally Magnus 5 that would get a good RP, but that was a tall order for the Magnus 5. This time though, with a Winter Wyvern, with a Magnus, with a Void, you have counter initiation and initiation for days. And this is the best way to deal with the Oracle counter to the Void, because Oracle will just make the Void Chrono useless most of the time, right? But if you use the False Promise in the Chrono, you get punished with a RP, you might get punished for the Winter's Curse. Like, this is a game where actually, personally, I would rather they run the Magnus offlane and they run the Winter Wyvern 4.
I agree.
Because that gives Magnus more initiating potential.
And I think we need the Wyvern realistically to almost just Winter's Curse supports when the Chronos drop. Because almost always you see Wyvern's like one of the better counters to Faceless Void, because he just always wreck his Chrono. You just ult him in the Chrono.
Oh, I see. You mean like ignore the Chrono.
Ignore the Chrono. Go behind. Find that Oracle. Fucking ult him.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I agree.
If the Oracle's not in the Chrono.
Ult something around Chrono.
Ult something around Chrono, right? Because exactly. You cannot let Oracle reach the Chronosphere, because Oracle wrecks it almost two ways for sure. I mean, maybe even three, right? False Promise to save his allies, but of course, Fate's Edict, not Fate. It is Fate's Edict. Yeah, Diabolic Edict is Leshrac. Fate's Edict is a disarm, which can be dispelled.
Yep.
But then you have to use like a mat style to do damage in your Chrono. That sucks. No one wants to do that.
Oh, they ban offlaners. Okay, so they think it's Chris Luck playing the Magnus then, which I think is correct actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you run the Magnus as the offlaner, it's going to be a really tough lane. Oh, maybe not.
Okay, maybe not. A lot of flexibility here.
A lot of flexibility. Considering it's Beast Coast, everything is flexed.
Okay, give me your lineup here.
What I think?
I'll give you a chance. Let's see the last pick. Let's see the last pick, because I think Beast Coast it's unfair for me to do that, because I think they're going to know. I'm not going to put you on the spot like that. That's unfair. I apologize.
I mean, I'm going to mess it up no matter what. What is the mid? I mean, what does Quincy Crew in mid here? Like, do you assume it's the Magnus mid or the Lina mid? Because we have seen Lina offlane as well, not only here, but in general. Actually, I saw recently Brain was playing it a lot on Skylark. I've seen even Viking GG run this. Like in Europe, it's been actually kind of popular.
I think maybe TA.
I don't like the TA versus Lina pick, if I'm honest, though.
Versus Lina?
I don't like the TA versus Lina. You just put Lina mid.
Yeah. I mean, I think
TA versus Magnus is pretty good, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You force the Mag offlane. Because then Lina mid is like, it's whatever. We got Oracle Troll to run at her. We got Beastmaster.
Can you afford to... I think maybe, the two Spirit Brothers are actually kind of fine here.
Which ones? Storm and Void Spirit?
Yeah, because those are the ones that are left.
Yeah.
Void Spirit is actually better, I would argue, but Storm is not bad if you want to catch the Winter Wyvern in the backlines and you stop the Crystal Maiden. They lack kind of reliable stuns, but Quincy Crew might want a faster hero, hence the Void Spirit. However, Quinn plays he plays a really mean Storm.
He does, but he's really good on the Spirits, I agree. I don't know, I still kind of like the TA. Against the Lina, it's not fantastic. You don't die, you don't win the lane, and then you just go into the jungle and farm. Okay, something much different.
It's actually really good against Magnus and Lina. Yeah, I actually saw Secret picking up a DK today, so it's not the worst hero in the world.
All right, don't look.
No, I mean, I saw it already.
You cheated.
All right, yeah, this is what I was expecting. I mean, the thing is, it sucks to have the Magnus offlane versus Troll and Oracle. I question how effective this pick can be, because that lane is quite strong. Troll is a really strong laner, and Schofield on Winter Wyvern. Winter Wyvern is really weak doing that, so you don't get much advantage there. This is a very standard lineup of Beast Coast. I'm actually surprised. No weird flexes, no awesome counter picks. And the Lina got pretty heavy counter by the DK. I was even expecting maybe to run the Magnus. Well, I guess the Breathe Fire is a bit too annoying. Yeah, I mean, I think Quincy Crew still wins this draft, though. I mean, you have a solid draft by East Coast, much more solid than last time, and definitely not an odd draft, I don't think, to guess. But Quincy Crew has a really, really good draft themselves, and comfort picks in general, and a way to counter the Void in your general team fight. The thing is, they have to play this quick, but they have enough pushing power to play this really quick.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they push really, really nicely too, don't they?
All their cores push. I like Quincy Crew a bit more. I think that offlane's a bit weak, honestly.
They offlane to Beast Coast, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I don't know. Wyvern, I mean, of course, Whisper with the not magazine, with the costume on the Magnus is going to be actually kind of strong here with the Wyvern. I think they got a lot of slows, decent kill potential there, but who knows? Who knows? You guys are watching. I got a rhyme this time.
Is it actually a rhyme?
It's actually a rhyme. The cadence is shit, but it's okay. You guys are watching Quincy Crew versus Beast Coast. Yeah, okay, Rhymes. Why don't you give us your host? No, shit, I already fucked up. Why don't you give us a follow to your gracious host?
Get this guy out. What is this?
Give a follow to your gracious host.
Almost had it. It was so close. I even saw where you were going with it. God damn it. God damn it. The meme of the tournament.
I am sharp.
Like
It's been a fun day. Beast Coast make sure that's the case, of course. They're gonna go for SVG up top, by the way, and he already wasted a Fortune's End. Oh yes, this is from last game. You deserve it, SVG. Wait, they didn't get the first one to Whisper. That's a great way to equalize this lane, honestly. Yeah, because Magnus is a bit similar to a Slardar in the lane. A bit more secure than a Slardar, but you'd usually want a good lane from an offlane Magnus to actually take advantage of him. Honestly, with the first blood, it might mitigate whatever they can do in the lane. You'll still farm a bit, just not very well. And he already went for the Shockwave level 1. I like it from Whisper. He's gonna play defensive lane here. Yeah. What sucks though is the middle lane for Beast Coast. Lina does nothing against DK. DK just tanks all your damage. And as Lina, the best thing you could do is attempt to stop Quinn from farming by stunning him at the right time. At least DK won't be able to stop Lina from farming too much, right? Or shouldn't. And in general, I mean, yeah, if you just do Lester Gray like that, exactly, you should be able to just at least farm somewhat. And then kick the lean. I mean, you're not going to kick the lean out, but you're going to at least be able to mitigate the advantage that DK naturally has by being a melee hero. And that's your role as a lean in this game. Your harassment is falling on armored HP. He has one of the best base attack times in the game. In fact, that's why I always explain the story that when he came out in Dota 1, that was towards the end of Dota 1's life cycle. Actually, Dota 2 was already out, but people were still playing Dota 1 regularly, and everyone started playing him as a carry with Maelstrom. And I'm like, please, guys. Because back in Dota 1, everything was a carry. In fact, back in the day, the way you decided who was supporting in the lane was who's the intelligence hero. So Storm support was quite common. Yeah. People didn't know how to play back then. There was no understanding of how the game worked. Yeah. It's incredible how much they that they don't, like, people in general have advanced, and even the general Dota knowledge. Like, you'll find people out of 3K right now that have a Dota knowledge that is immense for what it used to be, right? Like, pros back in the day were not as good as some 3Ks these days, you know? Like, mechanically, yes, but in terms of knowledge and tactics, because there's so much thing has been discovered about this game. Yep, exactly. That's nice though, because that means that Dota can get higher and higher level, right? That's why every year you see these crazy plays. You go, how could you even come up with this? That's true. Yeah, for sure. In the bottom lane, they are dealing with us nicely. They didn't go for the Axis build. They actually did go for the Boars build. It's all like when you go with the Chen or Enchanters, because Chen and Enchanters take your Boars. Here, there's no point to not just raise the Boars. And then Stinger, well, if he wants to waste Frostbite against it, sure. He's still going to secure Ector's lane, but that middle lane is a real big issue. Oh no, Chris Luck, you're actually going for the rune here alone. Yeah, he probably is. That's way too easy. He got way too cocky against a DK. Was not expecting the Oracle to rotate, I guess, but yeah, they rotated both supports. The lanes are really difficult right now for me. It's honestly... I didn't see a chance for them winning. I mean, I was actually expecting them to win the bottom lane, I'll be honest, because I thought the Crystal Maiden would be better against Beastmaster, but apparently not, especially if Lelis is playing it. And also Mirana, of course, helps a lot to harass Faceless Void. It's just really tough for them. They have to make this game back in the mid-game. That's the mid-game power spy they're going to be playing around, particularly with the Magnus, with the Void, just so much team fight. There is something there, but Quincy Crew, they're the experts of snowballing from lanes, right? So it's always dangerous to see them do this. Yep, yep. Yep, propose. No, us. No, the boars are annoying Stinger a bit here in the bottom lane, and Hector is actually forced to deal with those boars. That sucks. The frostbite not enough. Oh wow, Lelis even denies it. This guy's so good. This guy's really good on the Beastmaster, dude. I told you, there's a bunch of comfort picks for Quincy Carew, and they're a really solid team as well. Hector finally, though, is winning, or at least even in the last hit war against the Troll, which is what I was expecting. I was surprised that Lelis had so much domination early. That's the Mirana effect. Well, not the poison, just the auto types. Poison doesn't deal damage. Remember, guys, not all poison kills. Some poison just makes you go slow. Like, Boar is essentially just giving you a laxative, and you're like, oh, I feel a bit... I gotta go to the bathroom. Anyway, Schofield. Let's see. I don't know if they can kill him. That Dragon Tail, wow, that is not the range of that ability, even with Dragon. What is this? I think that was an extra hatred because you're Dragon versus Wyvern. But that should not have happened. That was one of those situations where...
I've learned nothing.
Nice. And now it's starting to become difficult though, because Lelis has much more advantage with the mid down. Oh, mid lane RP, yeah. I don't know if they can kill him though. Honestly, it's a tanky Dragon Knight. Can they have any other stun? Nope. And bottom lane, they take Stinger, and as a result, they're gonna push a tower. Look how early Queen Seeker rotates their carry. That's very rare to see when you have a Beastmaster in the offlane, but it is really common to see if you have Quincy crew and they're running the troll, because they want to push and shorten this match as soon as possible, and they want to shorten your map as well. And that's what they do. They're really good at getting map control. You know, the build, by the way, for the Winter Wyvern actually has an Etherlens recipe. I've never seen you start the build by the recipe. He must have bought it because he was about to die and then, you know, just wanted to save gold. Wow. Yeah, what a fantastic Crystal Maiden. This is what shows what real Crystal Maiden can do, right? Real Crystal Maidens, they deny towers. But this is the pushing power we talked about in the draft. It's scary to play against a draft that has good pushing power and also really good lane, or they beat you in all lanes, because you need to answer this somehow. I guess you have some nice lane control, particularly with the Lina and the Magnus, but it's tough regardless. Chris Luck again found out. There's the arrow, breathe fire, and goodbye, Chris Luck. No, Yawar wants to go for a solo kill here on Schofield. He's just waiting for the trees to break. Oh, no, Yawar, you got stuck, dude. You got stuck. Schofield, play with you. Exactly. It's a really difficult. I would argue this game actually is a bit more difficult than the last one just because of the lanes. You have to survive this early game. I don't know what he was doing, by the way. Stinger. Yeah, farming ancient. I mean, he did stop the Beastmaster from farming. I think that was the purpose, but there was no way you're killing Lelis. He didn't have Primal Roar. He could have just mowed him down, though. If he didn't use Freezing Field, didn't get the extra armor, he could have just killed him. So I think that was the idea. Yeah. Because he didn't have Primal Roar, of course. They're gonna go for Hector, though. He has Corona, though. There's a smoke now coming in from Coincy crew. They have the Elder Dragon. Yep. There we go. With the Dragon Tail, can they secure? Oh yes, perfect arrow. There's the confidence I was missing from Quincy when I watched them against Thunder. That's back. This is the kind of Quincy I remember a lot. They go for these plays, they trust each other, they set up Dragon Tail for the arrow. It's really simple, but you can easily tell then when the team is starting to falter motivationally, right? Their morale is back to normal, it seems like, at least. That last game against Beast Coast must have enjoyed that. There's luck. Oof.
You have learned nothing.
Yep. Oh, because they have a composition to make sure that they can get kills and towers after winning those lanes. So they actually take advantage of these one lanes, which is Quincy excels at. That's their style. It's been their style for forever. You know, they're a team that usually were known for not making many mistakes. Let's forget the last couple of days. They play the lanes really strongly. They go and snowball from these lanes, and it's hard to stop them because they're always the first one to propose. But they knew that because they were such a consistent team that they could propose early and always win just based on tempo. Well, now we're seeing them back to full form. Of course, though, Beast Coast, they are the experts of mid-game. They're also the expert time waste. I would say the best team at wasting time in all of America. So give Schofield a bit more time. Let's see what he does this game. Yeah. Yeah, not yet, though. They lack the damage, though. That's the thing. If you have initiation, great. You have a bunch of lockdown, but you lack the damage because we were kind of relying on Lina at least doing okay in the lane. But since they picked up a DK, they countered it pretty hard. Gonna find Whisper again. Beautiful arrow. Yep. No, Hector comes with the chrono, but a bit too late. Well, he still have enough damage. The freezing field is used. They go for Quinn, but okay. Did he cancel? Yeah, I'm not sure what that happened. I think he misclicked. Must have misclicked. I don't see any other reason to stop that freezing field. That was a good initiation if it wasn't for that. Nice arrow though, man. I don't think they would have killed Quinn, but they would have certainly harassed him. Maybe he's stopped it because he was afraid that an arrow. I'm not sure. I think it might have just been misclick. Oh yeah, you're right. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see Lala's going for Blink Dagger, by the way. Very good to continue getting those pickoffs. They go for the CM, the arrow. CM will fall immediately. Winter's Curse, though, kills the Oracle a second time. This could set up for a chrono. They just had it, though, but they just used it. They still have the RP. Trying to go for Quinn. RP. Okay, with the Laguna play, they have enough damage. They bring him up to the high ground. Quinn takes a while to die, but eventually does fall. And Lightstrike Ray stops your war. Well-timed. Yeah, nice Hector. I got it, boys. Those arrows in this neighborhood, that's very important. Lelos, it still has the promo roar though, so if they make a mistake, there we go. Oh, he should have blinked to the high ground and instead lost high ground. And Lelos could be in trouble now as Whisper wants to skewer him forward. There we go. And Lelos has to use the promo roar. Stops Whisper for a second. Can he just get the cleave? No, the cold embrace stops him from getting the hit. I mean, I don't think he might have. I think he was hitting the board there and the cleave. No. Yeah, it's tough to say. It's tough to say that one. That was a bit. It's okay. You didn't kill the Beastmaster. He wasted Prowl Roar. I think it's fine. You killed the DK. That's your hardest hero, and you're starting to flex your team fight muscles, right?
Haste.
Wait, is that? Guys, please chill in chat. We see a lot of aggressivity. I understand a lot of people lost bets. We're sorry, but the only person to blame is really yourself, though. So. Beast Coast didn't ask you to bet anywhere. Actually, they didn't. They might have asked you to bet on Betway. Anyway. We'll see. Beast Coast, they really can't force fights like they would usually. Like when you're a 5-on-5 engagement, or when you're 5-on-5, it's better than the enemy team. You try to like go for objectives, and then the enemy team fights you. You just beat them by team fighting, right? So you usually get a free objective many times if the enemy team is not ready to fight. But because this game you're already relatively far behind, Quincy can just flank these objectives, take a quick kill, and then fight you afterwards with a number superiority, and then they'll win. So it's not quite easy there. We need to have another option for Beast Coast. Vector actually went for the Sanjay and Yasha this game. It's crazy how this guy still farms. There's no farming on him whatsoever, and he's actually being the DK. Really respectable, honestly. Hector, people are right. He has an ingrained blindness. Oh, he might find Quinn. I think they can with a skewer. Oh, nice Dragon Tail to prevent the skewer, but they still root him. The Fortune's End to prevent the root. And the Chrono of the Oracle. That's the best target. Evading the arrow, and SVG will fall. Lelisto with a Primal Roar. Here's the Winter's Curse. Look at this team fight. Beast Coach, such strong team fight. But unfortunately, they've used all their spells now. Stinger's forced to Freezing Field so that the enemy team, so the rest of his team, can retreat. And Schofield and Stinger will be the sacrificial lambs of these engagement. Well, because then they're like, oh, well, he's dead to the arrow anyway. He had to Cold Embrace because there was an arrow flying towards him. Yeah. Not an arrow, like a little auto attack. Sorry. I meant to say like the Mirana little arrows. That's the Oracle. No, he did use Laguna on the Oracle. Yep. Yeah, like I'm telling you, they have a good team fight, but when you lack the damage early because your lanes didn't go too well, it's hard to fight. When you're a mid-game lineup, you don't want to get into the mid-game with a disadvantage. You want to go with either slight disadvantage or even, of course. You don't mean to win the lanes, you don't really care about that. But of course, if it's a heavy disadvantage, the enemy team has way too many items and way too many levels for your team fight abilities to be as impactful. It's still doable, they can still turn this around for sure, but Quincy Carew is a bit of a tall order right now. What? Doesn't that mean that someone's like really attractive when you say that? Yeah. Oh, it just... Language, dude. Yeah, that's what it means. Calling someone a tall glass of water. No, that's what it is. That's what it means. People say it in like 80s movies and stuff. Anyway. Whisper. He might be caught out here with a smoke. If not, they could always go for towers, of course. They have a ward there. Yeah, Primal Roar. They had the ward. They set up for the arrow. Good arrow, but the RP prevents the initiation here from Quincy Carew. Can Schofield divide them? He does. With the Winter's Curse, they force immediately a ward to Battle Trance, and they're keeping Oracle dead, actually. Really well played here. Stinger with a Freezing Field, forced to be stopped with a Dragon Tail. That's a waste of a Dragon Tail, only in a CM support. And she's like, sure, fight me. Look at me. I am barely a Dragon. Oh, no, she died. Goodbye. Yeah, Big A was too powerful. 13 team fight's still on point though. That was a good fight. Winter's Curse to divide them, killing the Oracle immediately. They keep him stunned and then kill him. And you even survive on Hector and on Crystal. Hector was dead otherwise, right? So it was a good fight, especially Stinger. Really taking advantage of this Crystal Maiden. But that BKB kind of... I mean, they forced the 10-second BKB on the CM. I think that's kind of a win in your book. Yeah, I don't know. He stayed behind. He had a... Oh no, this is Beast Coast Ward. Yeah, no, I don't... Yeah, I'm not really sure. Yeah. That was odd. That was odd. Whatever. We just gloss over it. Sometimes people... these things happen. I'm not really sure entirely. We didn't see the full play, so it's hard to understand his mentality behind it, right? Yeah, same. Me too. Hector. He has to get away with the time block. He has Chrono, by the way. He didn't have to use it in last engagement, which could be initiation. He has a decent amount of damage as and why. Oh, it's the Loda build when he still played this year. When back when Loda still played and Echo Saber was introduced into the game, and they used to run him on Void, right? That's because he used to play carry still. And actually was the first person I ever saw to run Echo Saber Void. He used to go minus Echo. They became kind of popular in Europe for like a month. Exactly. And he's farming decently thanks to the Empower. Mind you, the Empower wasn't maxed until later. They actually maxed Shockwave the lane, so... It's still just Hector being really on point. Chrono. Oracle's dead again. Very nice. Very nice, dude. They're playing exactly as they should, honestly. They're killing the Oracle first to make sure the Chrono's easier. These freezing fields by Stinger have been on point, right? Because Quincy Crow doesn't have a single area stun. This is what I always talk about, right? They don't have a single area stun, so you have to waste a stun on a stupid Crystal Maiden. You hate doing that. Either Dragon Tail, Primal Roar, or an arrow on the Crystal Maiden, because everything else you have is roots, and those stuns are so valuable. So the freezing fields have been on point this game to make sure that Stinger is always a nuisance here. I don't think they can kill Yawar, right? The two sisters. Yawar is hot and he's cold. He's yes and he's no. He's still alive. Oracle will heal him back up. Yep. Guys, they're not playing this era, by the way. With the American teams, they play 2 USCs. There's always a ping advantage for Quincy Crew. Oh, that's why they won, by the way, last game, but... Yep. Wait, it's pretty decent right now. I mean, the 5-on-5 engagement is still an advantage. Quincy Crew should be looking for smokes and trying to divide them, obviously, in these team fights. But you have so many team fight ultimates you have to deal with. It's very difficult. Okay, let's see. We see an arrow, not just for the... I also very much like the build here for Faceless Void. I think the Sanjin Yasha was fantastic because you can disassemble later, of course, but in the beginning it's a really good mid-game item that can allow you to transition to the late game and prevent Quincy from pushing you too quick. And the Echo Saber is actually a fair source of damage in the Chrono. A bit safer than Mask of Menace, I would argue. So, much better when you have this power. You are? Queen has to pause. This can't be, guys. Why is CM denying all the towers? Why is Stinger dealing this much damage? This is not allowed. No, I actually don't know why they pause. I love it as well because this is the first... Oh, TeamSpeak? Oh, I have it muted. Oh. Because I mute everyone that uses too many voice lines when I do replay analysis, and I guess I replayed analysis Quincy Crew yesterday. It's not because of that, dude. Because of the voice lines. Exactly. I love Quincy Crew. CCNC is my best friend. Yeah, they're gonna be able to. I mean, honestly, with this Roche, Bisco's already drawing on the map, and This might be that they're actually drawing for tactics, or they might be that they're drawing just to troll the casters, which they also do, by the way. Anyway, Quincy Crew, I think if they can get a pick off before Roche, to be honest, they just position themselves properly. I think most of these team fights, it's going to be a bit difficult for Quincy Crew to just fight them head on. So you have to try to flank them, try to get those pickoffs, and it is not impossible, especially when you're playing on the enemy triangle. And okay. Oh, nice. Very good. And Quinn. Oh, this is looking bad now. Wow. Well played, Beast Coast. This time, of course, the mistake, I don't want to call it a mistake, but the well played, I guess, by Quincy Crew is that Oracle was not killed first, right? So you got a really good false promise there, and we saw now why people that were laughing at Beast Coast in the chat, we see why they killed the Oracle all the time, because he's the most important hero in this cast, in this game. This cast, he's the most important hero. Oh, that's all I'm concentrating on. That's why last game they were going for SVG the whole time, right? They understand SVG is the most important hero. Yeah. Exactly. Without him, they just really can't deal with the Troll Warlord reliably. However, I was surprised by the amount of damage Beast Coast could put out. I didn't think he was going to fall after the false promise, especially with the battle trends. That's incredibly impressive. So, I particularly like that Quincy Crew played a bit more safely with their Oracle here. However, yeah, the Team Beast Coast is recovering little by little. Lena's now second net worth. Void is fourth. Not too far out from the DK, they're getting decent kills. And I also like that Schofield has decided to become more of a 4-3-ish this game, and they've left Whisper just with the Blink Dagger, because this Winter Wyvern can be really impactful with that. Yeah, that's kind of similar. I could see that. No, it's okay, dude. We're never gonna change the first glance value of heroes in Dota. Value. Anyway, let's see if Quincy. I mean, with this Roshan, can they push the high ground? I mean, she's now on Quinn, makes it much harder to kill. He's been caught out every single time with the RP, though. They're concentrating on displacing Quinn, which is very smart because Quinn, of course, is the tankiest hero. But I think the cheese will prevent him from dying at the high ground, and that will allow Quincy Crew to dive after him, which they've tried to do every single time. This is the perfect initiation, though, for Quincy, because you're catching them from behind. The Oracle will be in a really good position. Yeah, you have the high gun as well. Okay, that's here in RP. Oh no, without the RP, this is a blunder. Now they can take advantage of this. Look at what Chris-Lock is. They used the Oracle, the Chrono only on the Oracle, but Chris-Lock almost died alone. They're actually leaving him. There we go. MS is finally finishing him off. Lelis, they don't really care. They have the Orchid here for the poor basis Void, and he's alone. There's no teammates around. That RP was a blunder, but the smoke was too good for Quincy Crew. Beast Ghost
They were slowly inching back into this game, but Quincy Crew is capable of bringing them, smacking them back down. And Chrono for the Oracle would have worked earlier when you had the extra team fight. When you lose the RP, when you lose the Winter Wyvern this early, it's just not possible. You can't afford to do that. It's not going to happen. They destroy the range Rex and the melee Rex super easily, and they go for the top lane. Yeah. This is another power of the pushing power in Quincy Crew, right? Whenever you get a team fight, you can turn this team fight into so many more objectives. Yeah, B-School has great team fights. Their team fights are easier to execute, great. But how do you push afterwards? You just don't have it. So Quincy Crew is capable of taking 2 lanes of Rax in a simple win. And this is going to make it so much harder to B-Schools to play until they're playing like they've been playing until now. They can no longer engage properly in these team fights. Yep. Well, with this, Quincy Crew just needs to bide their time, wait for the next Roshan, and if they guarantee the Aegis for this, I mean, like, you could fight here still, right? You could try to fight. Pushing 2 lanes, you have so much more lane control, and now Beast Coast, they have to make something happen with the smoke. The pressure is on them now.